it's me, Breanna, and you are listening to That Time We Got Reincarnated as an anime podcast, episode 3. You can find us on youtube.com/SaveTheGameMedia and podcast services. If you do want to show Save the Game Media extra love and get early access to all of our content, you can find us at patreon.com/SaveTheGameMedia. Today, I'm joined by my co-host and friend, Kyle. Before we get started, how are you, Kyle?
I'm okay. I'm playing Last Stellar Blade, watching anime. Good time. You know?
Yeah. Oh my god, I don't have my iPad. That's okay. I
Why
don't
do you
know.
need
I
your
don't
iPad?
remember. I don't remember what I've been watching.
Oh.
I actually was
okay.
watching anime for once, and I don't remember.
Yeah, but probably not like Danger to My Heart or anything.
No, I didn't watch
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. I mean, I texted you telling
Well,
you
I was
to.
being serious that I was making a marinade for dinner, and then directly after that, I went to my Japanese class, and then directly after that, Stellar Blade was out. What can you do?
Watch it 4 weeks ago. I don't know. Just an idea.
Just an idea. Okay, well, you said you're doing okay. Um, anything, any updates? Anything crazy since the last week?
No.
Okay.
I've been really into carbonated water, like flavored water.
That disgusts me. And we were already
Mo-
beefing over the formatting of our document, and now we're really beefing because
I mostly
carbonated
just
water is
like
disgusting.
I mostly just like the carbonation because it makes me feel like I'm drinking like a soda or something, but I don't drink soda, so
Is there a
it's
reason you
just
don't drink soda or just health?
health.
Mm.
But
Okay, I was like, I don't think there's animal byproduct.
but I like the fizzy bubbles, you know?
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, but only the lime one. All the other ones are kind of gross.
They're all gross. It's fine. It's okay that you don't know what you're talking about.
I never do.
I'm a little disappointed, but oh well.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm okay. You're disappointed, you know?
Yeah. So
Long pause.
my brain just froze and broke. What have you been watching?
What have I been watching?
What have you been watching? That's our next
man.
segment.
So many things. So many things. Can I just I don't know if I've mentioned it. I know
Oh,
I've mentioned it.
Whatever's about to happen, I'm scared.
Jellyfish Can't Swim in the Night
Oh
is
yeah.
so good.
You said that was your one
So
watch it.
yes. So I just watched this week's episode and they're doing this really cool ending style where they've only shown the ending twice, but it's been different every time, and they do it in the format of the music video that the characters make in the show.
Mm.
And it plays the song, and I'm pretty sure Rie's singing it and she sounds great. I just love it. I love everything about it. I really hope this show doesn't fall off a cliff. I'm just so worried. You know why? Because I was invested in Wonder Egg Priority, and then that show fell off a cliff.
I don't know. Don't tell me that. I really like I think I watched the first 2 or 3 episodes of Wonder Egg Priority, and then of course I never finished anything.
The first 6 episodes of Wonder Egg Priority, great. The last bit of Wonder Egg Priority, some of the worst things I've ever seen.
Oh, that's such a bummer. They did that with what's that one anime? Is it called Red Door, or is that just the name of the song?
I don't know. Not familiar.
Oh, 18 If is the 18IF, like all one word piece. It's the name of the anime. It was really, really cool concept of the show. The reason I thought Red Door is because the opening is called Red Doors, and it's by Teddy Lloyd. If you know Teddy Lloyd, he does incredible music. The opening, incredible. The show concept was so good. And then, like you said, all of a sudden, it was weird, like Wonder Egg Priority 2. It was like that really weird, like it changes like styles, and it was like bizarre. And then all of a sudden, it was just like really bad. And I had to DNF it. I was like,
yeah. And then I also I watched all the seasonals really.
Mm.
I got that very funny text from you about a condition called love or whatever, where you wished that you had a guy simping over you like he does.
I'm a very simple person. I just need
Yeah,
somebody to be obsessed with me in the way that he is
yeah,
obsessed with her.
I'm not sure he's the most healthy person, but whatever you want. I'm not
I
here to
don't need
judge.
healthy.
Oh, okay. But I also watched the Misfit of Demon King Academy.
Mm.
Still just watching. This week they had some of the worst CGI dragons I've ever seen in any
Oh
show
boy,
ever.
you're really selling this.
Everything else was great. These
Uh-huh.
CGI dragons so terrible. It looks like an elementary student was like, "Yeah, I can draw a dragon," and then
Mm.
they're like, "Here you go." Oh man, it was bad. It was real
Mm.
bad. But everything else was great. All the seasonals continue to be really good. I haven't dropped any yet. I haven't thought about dropping any yet. I still like all the ones that I've been watching. So, good season so far.
Mm-hmm. This season is pretty stellar so far.
Ugh. What have you been watching?
I've been playing Stellar Blade and I have no brain left.
Yeah. I've also been
Zero
playing
brain
it.
cells. If the few brain cells I have left after I simp for Adam, I'm just usually staring uh at butts.
Mostly Eve's. It's like a
Yeah.
pendulum,
It jiggles a lot. And I don't know how it is because the clothes that she are wearing in my mind would be so tight that there's no way that she would be able to move.
No, she can move. She's fit. She's athletic.
Logistically, none of the outfits make sense.
They don't need to make
But
sense. They look great.
it's like at this point I've kind of signed up for it, Oh well.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, what have I been actually watching? Okay, so more seasonal stuff. I have compiled my list of like stuff I'm going to at least try out. I think on Crunchyroll. I haven't touched High Dive. High Dive really pisses me off. I'm not kidding about that. Like every time the past two episodes and including this episode, we've talked about how much I hate High Dive, and it's true. I have real beef with them.
Just to add on to the High Dive hate or problems with it.
Mm-hmm.
So my watch list showed up today, and I was like, oh, I'll go to that and I'll continue watching
No,
what I'm watching.
it never
Every
works.
time every time I clicked on the episode that I wanted to watch, it crashed the app and sent me back to the main menu. But it worked fine if I went into the show. It was just from my watch list. I was like, okay, all right, I see.
I am convinced at this point that toddlers are making this app. We need to look into child labor.
Right.
We need to put research into this. What children do they have making this app? Actually, children might be able to. I take that back. Children may be able to do better than they are. It's old people. They have a bunch of people in a nursing home that don't know how to use computers doing this.
Anyways, Crunchyroll, what you got on there?
What have I got on there? Well, so I've got all the usual suspects. I haven't touched them yet because I'm a little bit behind, but I'm going to be watching Black Butler. I'm rewatching because it's literally, like I said, been forever. So I'm starting Black Butler at the very beginning. I think I'm like 3 or 4 episodes into my kind of rewatch. I never watched the second season of that, so it's like I have to catch up anyways. Still behind on My Hero Academia, but planning on watching that. Planning on watching Merchant and Wolf.
Spice and Wolf?
Sorry. Spice and
Spice and Wolf?
Wolf.
Yeah.
Thank you. It says merchant means the wise wolf,
That
and
is, yeah.
my
I just,
brain switched the words,
I'm just really
Anyway,
waiting for you to join the Church of the Wise Wolf so we can worship her together.
okay. Yeah, maybe.
No, you will.
Kaiju number 8 I'm watching. I have an update for you on that, Kyle. The character that I know you'll be a huge fan of did show up at the very end of episode 2 like I thought she would, and she's for sure going to be in episode 3. I haven't seen episode 3 yet because we're waiting for my dad's girlfriend's out of town and we're watching the show together.
That came out today though, right?
Yeah. So for episode 3, for sure, like that's where she is. So if you just want to like watch the first 3 episodes, and you can make a call based on the first 3 episodes.
3-episode rule, everybody.
It works, even though some people don't follow it sometimes, Kyle.
Sometimes the shows are so bad they just can't solo level it.
Anyway, that's just not true. Anyways. Shoku Tensei, for sure. Anyway, so I'm just like watching a bunch of those. The ones that one surprise that I'm enjoying so thoroughly, Windbreaker. Windbreaker is so good. It's like genuinely really, really good. It's so interesting so far. It's just like about a school of delinquents that like protect the town, and so it's just like a bunch of like fighting kind of,
what which really protecting the town from though?
Other delinquents.
Okay, so they're literally just fighting.
Yeah.
Do they get anything from fighting, or is the protecting why are they protecting the town?
They're protecting the town because they love their town and they love the people that live in their town. So the people that live in the town know that those high school kids are protecting the town. And so they'll like give them like free food and stuff.
We're the cops.
They are the cops.
No, where are the actual cops?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
No run-ins with the popo yet. So
just some delinquent gang fights happening in the streets, I guess.
Yeah. No, it's they've made some really interesting characters, and I really do think this show is pretty good so far. It's sitting at a 7.9 on my anime list, so clearly other people think it's good too. Enjoying that. The other one, I'm watching the romance one. Whatever, I literally cannot remember.
The Condition Called Love.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
That's not even the Japanese name. That doesn't even make sense.
No, it's not. No, yeah.
Because it's Hananoi Kunto Koi no Yamai. That's like literally okay, whatever. It really enjoying that one. That's just a fun romance, is what it is.
Yes, it is.
I was very disappointed. I was like, I love long hair. Chopped. I was like, no. I was really upset. He looked really good with long hair.
Yeah, now he just looks like a generic anime boy.
Yes. Now, well, he's still cute. I still like him. Okay, the other one that I was needing to talk to you about, because you said go and report back. I can now report back. Mysterious Disappearances, the one that looks kind of spooky, kind of thriller, kind of horror-esque. It's interesting in that like it has like a good concept. They're talking about, it's almost like, I'm trying to remember the show that I watched that was like this. Boogie Pop. It's kind of like Boogie Pop, where it's like there's like this weird mysterious person that like they're kind of talking about like Japanese legends and whatever. It's kind of like that kind of vibe, but it's basically like the person who it is making the decisions here is like, I just want to see some boobs.
Okay.
So it's like stuff happens. There's plot. The plot is maybe a 6 or 7 out of 10. It's not the best thing. It's good.
But how's the plot?
The plot, not great.
Oh, okay. Well,
not great. That's what, like, there's like, listen, you guys, there is this really unfortunate thing that happens in anime where boobs are really small or gargantuan. Like you would knock somebody out with the way that they jiggle. It's definitely like just giant. Giant.
I wouldn't call the first thing you said unfortunate. That's mean.
Listen, what I'm saying is that like I'm not saying that like the first being small or being huge is bad. What I'm saying is that in anime, unfortunately, nothing else exists. Is what I'm saying. Like there's no other boob sizes. There's nothing else. And that's what I mean is unfortunate.
There are. I think it just depends on the show. And it
It's
seems like
not common.
it and it seems like this one has gone to the extreme.
Oh my, yeah. Yeah. No, it really has, but in a very confusing way. Are you going to watch this show?
No, probably not.
Okay.
I'm gonna be
So
honest, based off that, no.
the first episode is the mystery that happens is this girl comes across a book where she can like make herself young again. So she's running, it's the girl with that has like big boobs, right? So she has this like sweater that she's running around in, and she's like she like makes herself I think junior high student again. So she like her none of her clothes fit her, so she's just running around in a hoodie, and then they like make like she becomes an adult again, and then it's just like butt. And I'm like, and the guy keeps like talking about how he's like seeing her panties and stuff, and I'm like, this is such an anime.
So
And
so it's ecchi.
it's not though. I like literally looked. None
It
of oh it
sounds
no, it is. It is. It
yeah,
is, but
okay.
it's not like there's nothing like for me, I think it's a pretty mild etchy. Like there's nothing going on.
Yeah, but
But I'm
it's
like,
still I don't know.
I'm very tired of that show. I watched 3 episodes and I said, you could have been so good, but somebody here has some fetishes that they needed to draw out. And we've ended up on the wrong end of that person.
So is it the first casualty of the drop list?
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure got dropped.
All
Rest
right.
in peace. But I did follow the 3 episode rule.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know.
Rip Bozo.
You could have been so good.
Yeah.
I think that's mostly what I'm watching. I have other stuff added into my like to watch list that I need to catch up on. Like that time I got reincarnated as slime, sound euphonium, stuff like that. Like I'm planning on like at some point, like I'm gonna catch up. So it's added, but no updates
Please.
there yet.
I tell you to watch a lot of things, right?
You do. You tell me a lot of things.
Yeah.
I feel like you're about to tell me another thing.
After you finish Dangers of My Heart, because you're gonna finish it, I'm gonna bother you until you finish it. Just I need you to just binge watch Sound Euphonium. Just binge it.
I'm busy right now. Now's not a good time.
I know, not right now, obviously. Okay. But like, when you got some downtime, it's really good. And it's beautiful.
Yeah. Okay. This is really random, but my brain just thought about this and I have to say it because I've wanted to say it on a podcast for a while. Why is there not background music on podcasts? Why is it just people talking?
I mean, there are on some, but I think it's mostly
people talking.
Yeah, I think it's mostly because it just is too much auditory stimulation, maybe.
Maybe, yeah, no, but then I think about the other way where I'm like, sometimes there is just that awkward silence in between people talking, and I'm like, I feel like there needs to be music here, and there's not.
I feel like if there was music, it would sound like either the wait dial tone on like a doctor phone call, like when you call them and they're like, everyone's busy, please hold, and then they play the music, but then occasionally someone cuts in and says something and then goes back to it.
Yeah.
That's just what it would make me think of.
Yeah. I think we should play the Coconut Mall music.
Okay, well, let's move on from that.
Okay, you guys. So we're gonna get into some news for the week.
It's short and fun.
Kyle has so kindly gathered 2 news stories for us. Do you want to do the first one, Kyle?
Yeah, sure. So that time I got reincarnated as a slime's getting a new video game. It was announced by Bandai Namco Europe. The game titled That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime Isekai Chronicles is described as a game that combines elements of classic JRPG battles and fun city building mechanics to create a unique gameplay experience perfect for gamers of all kinds. And there's a trailer up on YouTube that you can watch now. I checked out the trailer. The battle looks like kind of old 2D like action combat on like a flat plane. It looks
kind of
fine.
JRPG-ish.
Yeah, I like an old style. And then you can build a city, which is cool. Very reminiscent of the show. You can play as your favorite characters. It's got some of the arcs from the series and some new original arcs, which is cool. I might get it at some point, but it's not like right at the top of my list. But I think it'd be a fun time. Plus, I can play Shuna. So.
Okay. Yeah. I highly doubt I'm going to be playing this. I was talking about this in the Discord, but whoever started making these anime games in the manner that they did is really upsetting me. Really upsetting me.
I'm just glad that this isn't the classic, oh, we want to make an anime game. What should we do? 3D arena fighter? Got it.
I don't know. I think not that I would necessarily prefer that, but like I just in my experience have not seen any anime games that are any good.
How dare you? There are plenty. There's not plenty. There's a few good ones. It's very slim.
Yeah. So again, as I said in our Discord, I blame Sword Art Online for this. And if it's not Sword Art Online's fault, it's Attack on Titan's fault. I can't decide which one it is.
I heard those Attack on Titan games are good.
Who knows? I haven't touched them.
But, I mean, I'm never gonna touch them. Personally, I blame Naruto, and because they did all those Ultimate Ninja Storm games. And then they did the Boruto games that nobody needs. And then
But did those come before or after the Sword Art Online games? Because
those came before because some of those Naruto games were back on like the GameCube.
Oh, yuck. Okay.
Okay,
who started this?
Don't say yuck to the GameCube. The GameCube's great.
No, I'm saying yuck to a Naruto game on GameCube.
Oh, okay. But we can blame Sword Art Online. I'm fine with blaming Sword Art Online for anything.
Yeah, no, I think that like the amount of cringe. Listen, Sword Art Online. I will be the first to admit I enjoy the story of Sword Art Online. Not the whole thing; they've gone on too damn long. But I enjoyed it. The first season, I enjoyed the second season, and like Gun Gale Online, all of that. I enjoyed. I enjoy Sword Art Online, but the amount of cringe that has come out of Sword Art Online is like physically painful. Like physically painful because it's like so fun story for you guys. So when my ex started talking to his now current girlfriend, she hadn't seen any anime really, and so he told her to start with Sword Art Online, and I said she's gonna come back and she's gonna be like, "You're my Kirito." It's gonna make me want to die. I said, I can't believe you sent her down this path first.
That is very corny.
Yeah. It's so cringy, you guys. It's so cringy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not the best.
Anyways, but the actual story is good. Okay, story 2. Kyle did a little write up here, but I'm actually going to ignore Kyle's write up and just go to the article.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense.
So this is from Anime News Network. So Yen Press has announced 9 manga and 5 light novel series for October 2024. So there is, just to give you guys the list, Horimiya Volume 17, 86.
The high school arc.
Okay. Oh yeah, Operation High School. There we go. I was like, it doesn't make sense for it to stop there. Okay, and then Reign of the Seven Spell Blades, Side of Fire,
which is the side story to Reign of Seven Spell Blades, apparently.
Okay. Blade and Bastard, which is a manga. Licorice. What is it? Licorice Recoil.
Yeah, Licorice Recoil.
Manga, Volume 1.
I'm gonna buy every single one of those.
Is The Order a Rabbit manga? Let's see.
I wanted to watch that the other day, but Crunchyroll only has season 3, and I'm not watching just season 3. I've never seen the other 2.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I feel like that's an anime, but
It is, yeah.
that makes sense. Okay. The small animal-like lady is adored by the Ice Prince. This looks real good, you guys. I like the
I
art
knew it.
style.
I knew that she was gonna say this.
Listen, it's a handsome dude with like blonde/white hair. I prefer white hair, but it's fine.
Keep going.
I'll become a villainess who goes down in history. It seems turning into a highborn baddie makes the prince all the more love struck. That was one title, by the way.
I was just gonna ask, is this one
Yeah.
book?
Yep, that was the whole title. Yep, that's a manga. And then Kusunoki's Garden of Gods. That actually looks pretty interesting. That's a light novel. Love is Dark. That's a light novel as well. A dark rom-com about a boy who kills and a girl who takes lives away by a touch. Interesting. The World Bows Down Before My Flames, light novel. In My Seventh Life, I Met a Monster Princess, light novel. That looks like something you'd read, Kyle.
No, it doesn't. Why? What?
Lethal Dose of Love manga. That looks good. And the guy she was interested in wasn't a guy at all. That sounds like a Yuri.
It is a Yuri, and they're printing it in green, just like the Japanese version, and I'm buying that day one.
It looks actually pretty good. Hold on. I'm going to images,
it's pretty
you guys.
good.
Oh my god, it really is green. That's so cool.
Yeah.
That's so interesting.
Yeah. It was one of the first things they asked when they announced it. Like, are you going to print it in green? And they're like, yeah. Yeah,
you know
green
what,
Yuri's
guys?
green.
I might get this too.
Yeah, how many green books do you get?
I'm not even concerned necessarily about the green, but it's like it's green and it looks like a pretty good story, so I'm like, why not? You know?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you.
Okay.
Those are some cool announcements.
Mm-hmm. We'll have to start keeping track of more of these releases because I do like talking about those. Specifically, we'll have to start keeping track of like the BL stuff because that's what I'm interested in.
All right, well.
The Danmei.
I mean, luckily, it'll be easy to keep track of because not
There's
much
not
gets
many.
licensed.
Okay, well, to be fair, they do a fair amount. I think it's 7 Seas that does it.
Yeah, 7 Seas has their like airship or whatever.
Yeah, so they have a lot of them. There's like Ghost Ship, Airship.
Yeah. Oh, it might be Ghost Ship that I'm thinking of.
BL light novel. I can't remember which press. They have a bunch of them. Let's see. 7 Seas Entertainment. It's loading. Hold on, you guys. Hold on.
It's gotta make sure you're a real person first. Do the connection.
Yeah. Steamship is the regular stuff.
Yes.
Ghost Ship is the I think that's just their like ecchi. No, Ghost Ship is their regular. Ghost Ship is their regular. Steamship is the ecchi.
There's an adult themed one, yeah.
Yeah. Danmei is like Chinese novels, Chinese BL novels. That's the one that I was thinking of. There's also Airship, which is their light novel one. They have like Boogie Pop and stuff in there. Yeah, they have a bunch of them. But yeah, the ones that I was talking about were the Danmei.
Yeah.
We'll have to keep track, you guys.
We'll keep track. Oh,
by genre. Where's Yuri?
I feel like.
Oh, I found the Yuri.
Yeah, I've already bought like everything in it.
There's a lot of stuff in here. I don't think you have.
I've bought everything that's not like currently out of print or very expensive.
14. Oh my god. There's 72. They have 72 different series. There's no way.
I said I bought everything that's not out of print. Some of that stuff's really old.
It can't be. Okay. I believe you. Yeah. Okay, you guys. So we'll start keeping track of more of this print stuff, maybe, if I remember. No promises.
She won't remember. She never remembers anything.
I don't. I really don't. I will say you did text me at an inopportune time, or else I would have watched Angels of My Heart. Because I really was downstairs and I was marinating raw meat. And yeah.
Raw meat's more important to her than I am. That's this friendship, everybody.
Eating food is important.
I give and I give.
What do you give? A text?
And she's just like, let me marinate raw meat.
Okay. Real talk. What are you giving here?
Anyways, next section.
Topic of the show, you guys.
This is an educational section.
Yeah, so for today, we are actually going educational. Since we're in one of our earlier episodes, I had very, very long time ago, probably like 2 or 3 years ago at this point. It's been almost 2 years, so yeah, probably since I started with Save the Game Media. Every time I talk about anime, my mom says, "I don't know what you're talking about. Can you help?" And hi, Mom. I sent you this show on purpose. I'm here to help.
I think this would be beneficial for more than just your mom as well, because I'm going to say that most of our co-hosts have no idea what we're talking about half the time.
And some of them don't know how to pronounce it.
And some of them don't know how to pronounce isekai or really a lot of words, you know?
Yeah. So we're going to go through some lists that have been listed as like the common anime terms. We're just going to start going through some of these and yeah. So the very first one that we're going to go ahead and start out with, just because I think this one's very important, and IGN also has it listed. That's the list I'm looking at right now. The very first word is anime. We're talking about anime. What is anime? Anime is the Japanese word for animation. In Japan, it would refer to anything that is animated. So this would include Steven Universe, Family Guy, Avatar: The Last Airbender, King of the Hill.
They just call it Western anime.
It's just called anime. But when you're talking in terms of like Western terms, like which is what we use the term anime, is because we're in the West. Is that anime refers to Japanese animation only. So that would mean that Avatar: The Last Airbender in Western terms is not an anime because it's not made in Japan.
Okay, understand? Easy.
Okay. All right, we've got our first term. Do you have the list open in front of you, Kyle?
I do, but I also want to add on, because I see it constantly. The word animes is not a thing. You can't say animes. The plural of anime is anime.
Is anime.
And anytime people add the S to the end of it, it drives me insane.
What if we start using plurals like moose is meese?
All right, next word.
Anime, animes.
No. What's the next word you want me to do? Bishoujo?
Sure.
It means a pretty or beautiful girl.
So we don't use the term bishoujo very often. It's usually referred to in terms of like a genre of anime.
Or I see it referred to like when you buy like a figurine or something.
Yeah. So we don't use that term very often, but it's good to know. Shoujo means girl, and then it's just like a
play on words.
Yeah. Bishoujo. Yep. And then bishonen is shonen means boy. So bishonen is like a pretty boy.
I just thought of SpongeBob going, "Am I a pretty girl?"
Okay.
Good stuff.
This next one I don't think I've used very often, but Luna, why are you acting crazy? I don't use it very often, but dojinshi.
Oh yeah.
So dojinshi is like it's fan created original work And it's basically their fan fiction.
Yeah,
It's like manga fan fiction.
It generally uses existing characters in original stories the fans make.
Yeah.
Which can be fun to read sometimes, you know?
Yep. If you see DJ as well, like just the letters DJ, usually that's short for doujinshi. So I don't use that term. Cosplay. Do you want to do that one, Kyle?
Yeah, the term for costume play, where you dress up in a costume as the anime or video game character. These happen a lot at, like, if you go to Anime NYC or Comic Cons and stuff like that, you'll see a lot of it. Very popular, very cool. I just like seeing people do cosplays. It's really, especially the ones that like really go all out.
It's really fun.
Yeah. So cosplay is a cool term.
Yep. Next one, fun one for you guys. Ecchi.
Hey, we use this term today.
We use this term today. So ecchi is a mild version of the word hentai. We'll go that a little bit later. So ecchi is typically used in a way to like naughty.
Can we say that word on YouTube?
What, hentai?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. I just for some reason I didn't think we could.
Yeah, we should.
Okay.
It's just, you know what is so funny? It's like all it means. So hen means strange, or like different, kind of not different.
Yeah, and then you add
problem
tie.
/ different, and then tie is big. It's
yeah,
so it's just big weird.
When you put it together, they generally use it for like, you know, vulgar, like perverted things.
Yeah, so hentai is like the literal meaning is pervert. But when you're talking about like in terms of like anime, it usually just means an anime that is almost pure sex and nothing else. Ecchi is a mild version of that where it's like there's probably boobs flopping around. There's probably like a lot of sexual references, but it won't be like full outright sex in the same way that hentai would be.
Ecchi's more suggestive and like teasing.
Yeah. Personally, don't really watch a lot of either. So,
Same. Yeah, no.
Kyle's lying right now, but that's okay.
Because I watched one ecchi last season. Jeez.
Wait, what season was it that we both watched one?
I don't know.
It was that. Do you remember? It was the one where the guy was like, it was the harem one.
Oh, Love Flops.
Yes, that one.
Yes.
We totally both watched that.
Love Flops was great. I don't care.
It was so good.
It
was really good. It had such an interesting plot. Like, and I'm not talking like plot. Like, it had an interesting plot.
It had an off the wall plot. It made no sense. I fucking loved it.
It was so good. Okay, so next one, I'm actually going to cover two terms really quick: ED, and OP. So ED is the ending song. So if you're, for whatever reason, you're like, I loved the ending song for this anime, you usually Google like One Piece ED or One Piece OP, and it'll come up like the opening song or the ending song.
Don't Google One Piece. They got like 40 of them.
Yeah, One Piece was a bad example. Fairy Tail. No, I'm just kidding. Fairy Tail has a ton of.
They have like 22.
I'm just kidding. But if you're like Googling, like if you need to find one, it's usually listed under ED or OP. So that's what that
and then
is.
you can find the name of the song and add it to your playlist.
Do you want to do fan service?
Oh, I was gonna do kawaii.
Oh, that's way down there.
Oh, did I skip a bunch?
You bunched a bunch, yeah.
Oh wow, I did.
That's okay.
I mean, fan service is just some. Who doesn't know what fan service is? It's done to appeal to the male audience. It's usually like gratuitous shots of female anime characters.
Listen, sometimes there is fan service for women as well. But yeah,
yes,
fan service is like, it's like that we've lost the plot and it's just become plot. You'll see this happen a lot in anime with like there's always like a an episode. It's why it's always a joke that there's like the beach episode
The
or
beach episode,
the pool episode,
the hot spring
the hot
episode.
spring episode. There's always an episode. It's usually episode 8 for some reason of like 12 episode animes where the characters go to the beach, so they're like all in bikinis, or they go to hot springs, so they're like all naked, but you can't really see them. It's just fan service.
It applies to more than just that too. Like sometimes the like camera angle that they like draw the shot at will be like,
yeah,
like
the one that always cracks me up is when somebody's talking for a long time and they like pan down to their like boobs. And I'm like,
yeah,
hello.
Some people don't like fan service. I don't have a problem with it. I don't really care.
Sometimes it does bug me and sometimes it doesn't. Like if it's not gratuitous, I'm just like, whatever, it doesn't matter.
As long as they don't do it during like an important scene that like
but
ruins.
They do though. That's what bugs me. It's bad.
All right.
It's bad. Yeah. Another great example.
Says the girl playing Stellar
all
Blade.
of Stellar Blade is just fan service. And it's gratuitous.
In the best way.
Yeah. This is why I texted Kyle. I said I'm no better than a man.
No one is. I'm sick of everyone pretending they are. All right, get off your high horse. Accept the fact that you like fan service and just move on.
But see, here's my thing. I need fan service for both. For all.
You'll get it.
All genders, not just two. All genders. I need fan service.
All right, so you watch Free in your spare time.
I do. I don't know. Free is another anime that's literally just fan service, but that's okay. Okay, yeah. Do you want to do kawaii now?
It's the Japanese word for cute or adorable.
Yep. So if you hear somebody say that, hopefully you don't just hear somebody say that in the wild because that's kind of cringy. But on the off chance you do, or if you've listened to, I believe it's Avril Lavigne's song.
Really?
Yeah, it's a really terrible song. Yeah.
There's a Shark Tank company that I think they named themselves Kawaii, and then they named it like Kawaii Cute or something, and I was like, that's a terrible name. I was like, go away.
It's just like chai tea.
Yeah.
Tea.
Doesn't make any sense. Or people who say non-bread.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's wrong with you?
Okay, next one, real big term, manga. Manga is just Japanese comics. Manga can. What's interesting is that Japan has like a pretty, like they have a very diverse like publishing industry. So manga can be like in magazines, like for example, Demon Slayer, when the manga first came out, like it was chapter by chapter in a magazine. So they've got the magazines that are running either monthly, weekly, bi-weekly, stuff like that. They have like literal just publishing where they publish like full volumes, stuff like that. So it's a big industry.
They have the online self-publishing thing that people do.
That's how One Punch Man started.
That's how a lot of things have started.
Yep. Okay, next one.
Where do you want me to go?
Mecha.
Otaku? Or Mecha? Oh, Mecha is an anime about giant robots. Or really anything that refers to giant robots.
It's one of my red flags. Like if an anime is a mecha, I'm probably not going to watch it. There are some exceptions like Darling in the Franxx, but I really don't like mechas.
I don't like mechas either, except for The Witch from Mercury, the Gundam series, because it was also Yuri.
Okay.
So I fought through it, and Gundam's kind of cool. Like I grew up watching Gundam, so I have a soft spot for it.
Do you want to do otaku?
Do I want to do otaku?
Yeah.
Sure. It's an obsessed fan, and not necessarily of anime. It could be literally of anything.
It's basically like an equivalent Japanese term of like being a nerd about something. So like you could be like a video game nerd, Star Trek nerd, is one of the examples they have listed here. An anime nerd, manga nerd. Like it's just like
Love
whatever.
Nerd.
Yep. Kyle is a Love Live nerd. But yeah, otaku is just like you're a huge fan of this one subsection of nerd culture.
And some people give it a negative connotation, but I don't agree with that.
Yeah. I mean, in Japan, like it does have a negative connotation in Japan. It's that what's hard is that like a lot of these terms have like a Japanese like a lot of these terms from Japan like have taken on a different meaning when taken into Western culture. So like in Japan, otaku kind of like brings up like this image of somebody that's like
Like
the
Rudis before he gets
mm,
reincarnated.
like the not well kept human that like doesn't really shower, doesn't really take care of themselves, doesn't really go anywhere. That's kind of the meaning that it would kind of take on. Not all the time. Some people are like a little bit more understanding, of course, just in the same way that some people think nerd's a good term, some people think it's an insulting term, stuff like that. Um, but in America, otaku is kind of taken on as like somebody who's a fan of anime. And even though that's not literally what it means, that's kind of like the Americanized term of it.
Your mom's learning so much.
Mm-hmm. Next one we can go over just because I think if you are watching anime, I think that this is a really, really important term. OVA or OAV. So it's original video animation or original animation video. They're the same thing and used interchangeably. I think most often you'll see OVA is the one that I see most often. So this is basically any anime that's direct to video release. It's not shown in like theaters or on TV or anything like that. Um, it's very, very for popular anime, it's very common for there to be an OVA that's added as like an additional episode. Sasaki and
Or like
Miyano had
or a
had
big
one
recap
episode that was
episode.
added. Recap episodes are usually OVA, stuff like that. So it's like they will commonly like release like a Blu-ray disc and there'll be like an extra episode that's like just fun for the fans. And then you'll see that added onto Crunchyroll or whatever anime service. And it will say OVA because it's not technically an episode, but you'll still want to watch it because it will have story.
Yeah, they did a Konosuba OVA, but it takes place like in a different time period than where it is listed in the Crunchyroll list. And it
Mm-hmm.
messes up people because they're like, they already met Union in the OVA. And I was like, well, the OVA is supposed to be meant like you're supposed to watch it at a different time. I was like, it's different. So it does mess up some things, but it's mostly just for fun.
Yeah. I'm going to switch to a different list. I put the link in the document for you. So we're just switching. Sorry, we're just going through like different lists of like common anime terms to try and get some of them covered. So we're just gonna go over this next one. Baka is something that you'll hear a lot in anime. You'll hear people say it commonly. I sometimes you'll hear Kyle and I say it if we're like trying to be dorky and like cringy on purpose, but most of the time I don't just like say it. Baka is a Japanese word and it just means like idiot or
Okay.
stupid. Mm-hmm. So you'll hear characters say that a lot, but
especially tsunderes.
but like you'll also hear people like if they're like memeing, they'll be like, "Oh, don't be a dumb little baka,"
Yeah,
and stuff like that. So yeah, next one.
Chibi.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's something small or shrunken and it's cute.
Yeah.
And
So if you
they
see
made a
like
Final
small
Fantasy game
versions, that's
that's
true.
all chibi.
Yeah, so if you see like a small version of the character, so if you, for example, if you're watching like a comedy anime and the characters are normal and then all of a sudden they switch into like a small version that's like kind of less detailed, kind of cute, that's called like the chibi version. There are
Yeah.
some anime that like the whole thing is just chibi, but most of the time it's used as like a comedy bit inside of the anime. Or
Mm-hmm.
you can, if you have a character that you really like, you can look up like Chibi Naruto, Chibi Sasuke, whatever, and you'll find people that drew versions of them chibi. So
Some anime will also do like web shorts on like YouTube
yeah,
where their characters are all drawn in a chibi
what's that
style.
one anime that is like all
Um,
chibi for
Slime
other?
Isekai did it. Eminence and Shadow did it, and the Nijipan Love Live
Mm,
is all chibi right now too. So
there's an anime that is a lot of the isekai like in one.
Isekai Quartet.
Yeah, it's like a bunch of like the main characters from the like big isekais that are like all chibi and they're like all hang out.
Yeah.
So stuff like that. We already did this one. We don't really use that word. Harem. Do you want to do that one?
No.
Okay.
I hate this genre.
So
I hate it.
harem is a subgenre of anime where there's one person that is surrounded by so harem is commonly a dude that has a bunch of women kind of trying to get with him. And reverse harem is when there's a woman that has a bunch of dudes trying to get with her. This is actually a term that's used in books as well. Like if you read books, you'll see that it's like, oh, this is a harem book. So meaning like there will be like a bunch of offerings for the whoever the main character is. So not just a anime term, but yeah, I don't really watch harems either. Sometimes I do unintentionally. Like it's like I'll watch something and not know that it's a harem until it's like I'm already watching it. I'm like, ugh.
Same.
I don't like watching harems. I think Kyle feels the same because the people that we like usually aren't the ones that get picked.
I'm trying to think
also just not fun to see the other people like be sad.
Yeah. I think one show I ever watched where, in the genre, the girl that I wanted to win won. Every single other time, it's always just been either terrible or they'll like end up with everybody. And I'll be like, this isn't satisfying at all.
Yep.
But some people love it, so what do I know?
Yep. Okay. Next one. Do you want to do the N?
Nani? It means what?
Yeah, literally, nani just means what in Japanese, but you'll hear people say that a lot. Like that one, I think has like made it out of like it's still a little bit cringe to say it, but it's kind of almost made it to the other side where it's like it's now kind of funny to say it.
Yeah, I was gonna say now it's being used in a lot of like comedy sketch. Like there was this really good comedy series where this dude was like hanging out with all the anime friends, and then at the end he like something happened. He goes, "Nani?" He goes, "I mean, what?" And I was just like,
Yeah.
"Okay, I'm like that's good."
Yeah, no, you'll see. It's kind of made it to the other side of joke culture where it's like now just like funny to use it.
Yeah.
So like you will hear people say that more commonly. It literally just means what, but it's just like because it's like the way that characters sometimes dramatically say it in anime and people will like kind of recreate that in real life that it's like kind of become more jokey.
The next it's not important, but Pocky is delicious. So good.
Pocky is so good, you guys. If
It's
you see
so
Pocky,
good.
you'll see it like they have it at like Walmart, Target, Safeway. Like they have it at regular stores.
They
So
used to
good.
have it at FYE. I don't know if
Oh
you
god.
remember what
I do
FYE
remember
is,
FYE.
but they used to have it in the back, and I would go in there and just buy some of that and just eat it. It was so good.
One of these times we should talk about what our favorite flavor of Pocky is, but it's not today.
Yeah, I mean, mine's gonna be boring.
Ramune is a good one as well. It's like a Japanese soda that you'll see it in the glass bottles, and there'll be a marble at the top, and you have to like pull the top off and like pop it in. It's a really fun experience. I like Ramune. It tastes really good. So that one's fun. Do you want to do the tea? I think that's your favorite term ever.
It is my favorite. Tsundere. So it's a character that starts off cold and indifferent until you get to know them and you find their warm and gooey center, as this puts it.
Yeah. So just to give you guys, it's so Tsundere. So tsundere. Yeah, that's
by far my favorite character archetype. And there's a bunch of character archetypes that you'll see in anime.
Dere is
this is
like
my favorite.
Yeah, so Dere is like the character. To be completely honest, this is one term that I don't know what it literally means in Japanese, but I know that that's like the character archetype. So Tsun and then Dere is like the archetype. So let me pull it up. Sorry. So that way I have it for you.
Isn't it the
so there's
isn't it like a combination
kudere.
of their personality traits?
Yeah, so it's just so dere is like character archetype, and then there's like a bunch of them in there. There's dandere, tsundere, kudere, dere, stuff like that.
Yandere?
Himedere, stuff like that. Yandere is probably the second most popular. So tsundere and yandere.
Is it
Yandere means
true?
like, I think so, yeah. Like popular terms that are actually used. Like
Really?
talked about.
Oh.
So yandere is like the character's really dangerous and might murder you, but actually really likes you. So
But if you date
anyways,
someone else, she's gonna murder you.
yeah. There's like, yeah, so there's like lovey-dovey characters, all that kind of stuff. So you'll hear like that phrase, but those two are probably the most common.
What's your favorite character archetype?
Dere.
Really? You like just the sweet
I just need
vanilla?
somebody that's like super sweet, super loving, is just like a huge fan of me. Come on, you guys.
All right, I guess. Jeez.
Do you want to cover the W term?
What's the W? Weeaboo? No.
Okay, so the next term is this one is another really common term. So weeaboo,
Not so much anymore.
or weeb is the shortened version, which is like WEEB or WEEABOO. So this is the literal definition is that it's a derogatory term for a non-Japanese person that is obsessed with Japanese culture, but in like an unhealthy way. So like I'm trying to think of like a good example. So you'll see like people that are like kind of
It's the high school
crazy.
kids with the Naruto headbands that would run down your hallways.
Yeah, that's a really good description. Thank you, Kyle.
Yeah.
It's the people that like you hear them talk and you like physically cringe. They're like, actually, this character, and like you'll hear like their tone of voice. It's like in the derogatory sense, weeaboo is like it's kind of a really mean term for somebody to say. And they're like it's like I'm telling you guys, like Kyle and I wouldn't qualify, and we watch anime like all day, every day.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a really crazy level of obsession. That being said, there are people that have been trying to kind of like take back the term and say, "Oh, I'm a weeb." So like that's when you'll commonly hear the shortened version where it's like a little bit less derogatory. People are saying, "Oh, I'm a huge fan of anime. I'm like a really big nerd. I love Japanese culture." So in that like less derogatory sense, you could probably categorize Kyle and I under that like shortened, like kind of less derogatory weeb term, but I still don't like the term personally because I know that it comes from a derogatory place. Some people love the term, some people are like, oh, I'm reclaiming this term. It's like whatever. I don't like I'm not trying to get into the politics of it, but that's like kind of like the idea behind it.
I don't care either way.
Okay, so this next one is one that you will hear very, very commonly with Kyle and I. We usually use the other terms for it. So yaoi and yuri. So yaoi is boys love or BL. That's one that you'll hear me talk about the most. It's just dudes. In the book terms,
dudes.
it's MLM. Like it's just men love men. And yuri is women loving women, so WLW or GL.
When you said MLM, I thought you were saying multi-level marketing.
No, it's a book term. It's a book term.
I'm like, you're about to scam people. Got it.
Yeah, with dudes liking each other.
Just dudes loving dudes.
Yeah. So you'll very commonly hear Kyle and I talk about that. That's probably our most watched read genres for both of us. So
yeah, probably at this point, I'd say. I don't know watched because it's very it's harder to find.
There's not a lot of
it's harder to find anime in the genre, but it's really always cool when there is, like Whisper Me a Love Song this season.
Yeah, there's
but I've already read that, so
the BL is there's even So the for BL and for Yaoi, we'll probably go into this when we get into an argument. We're going to do like an argument and PowerPoint presentation on which one's better. But like one of the things with BL is that, how do I phrase this? So BL, the people that watch BL are women and gay guys, right? Like that's who's watching that. And the people who watch Yuri are men and sometimes women, mostly men though. Right? So in terms of like demographic, the people that most commonly watch anime are men, which therefore means that there's more Yuri that gets translated into anime, right? Because it's coming from manga. And so because it's more popular, it'll make more money. There's more men in the industry like watching. So that's why it's like going to be more popular. Whereas BL is like it's mostly women and gay dudes. So
I
not
like to think
as popular.
that there's like a bunch of not like sexually closeted people, but like fans that are like closet Yuri fans, closet Yaoi fans, you know? That
For
like
sure.
don't
People
want to
don't.
admit that
Yes.
they're reading and I don't know.
Yes. No, that's 100% true. I think that like Kyle and I like openly talking about liking it is like it's a lot more unusual for people to actually talk about it. But it's because we don't have to get into it, but there's some really really mean people in the internet. That's all you really need to know. Um
Bree,
and
it's not a term on here, but just because it does come up often. Cute girls doing cute things.
yep.
I think it's pretty self-explanatory what it is. I don't.
Yeah, so there's
I
a
don't,
genre of anime. I think it covers manga as well.
yep.
But it's just a genre that's literally just like cute girls doing cute things, and there's really nothing else going on. I'd say it's like a subsection of slice of life anime. We
Yeah,
can go over
absolutely.
that term in a second, but I think it's just like it's kind of like it falls under that umbrella of slice of life, where it's
Like
just people living their life.
yeah, like Yuru Camp, Nanan Biori would both be those. Do It Yourself, which aired recently.
That one was not good.
It wasn't. I haven't
I
watched
did
it.
not like that one.
A Place for the Universe
Mhm.
does kind of fall in there, but it's also a drama, so
Mm.
it's got a little bit of both.
Yeah.
K-On! Bochi the Rock,
Yeah.
those kind of
So
shows.
slice of life is a genre of anime that is just people kind of living their lives. This is actually one of my favorite genres of anime, where it's like
Same.
it's really low stakes. It's more cozy than anything, and you're just kind of existing with the characters, rather than like they're doing crazy like fighting or
Mm-hmm.
like whatever. Romance commonly will slip into this genre as well. It is its own separate thing, but sometimes there'll be like a slice of life that kind of has a romance in it, stuff like that. So just more of like a calm cozy kind of genre. Okay, so I have another list. I'm just going to start throwing other terms out here that I think are important. You can take over the description if you want, or I can. Up to you. Chunibyo, I think, is one that we use very commonly. You want to cover that one, or?
It's someone with what is commonly referred to as like middle school syndrome, where they think they have like delusions of grandeur and a bunch of like supernatural powers. There's literally an entire show based on it.
Yep.
And a lot of the times in anime it's used mostly as like a like coping mechanism for the character.
Yeah.
But sometimes it is also just for funny
Yeah.
gags.
It's usually like a gag, but it's like this thing where like a character will have like their hand wrapped, or like they'll have like an eye patch or something, and they'll be like,
iPads.
if I remove my eye patch, it releases darkness into the world, or what, like, and it's not real, like it's just like
And then
that kind of
someone
like
pulls
middle
it
school
off and they're like, no,
delusion.
no.
Yeah. So
I need to
that's
rewatch that.
we watch, or we I don't think we use that term chunibyo a lot, but I think we use it enough that it's worth kind of covering.
Yeah.
Um let's see. Seinen. I think that one's probably an important one. Just to give everybody, it's Seinen. Seinen is a demographic of like anime and manga that's specifically targeted for adult men. So it's like a lot of fighting, violence, action, that kind of thing.
I don't like that genre that much.
I usually don't either. Josei is another one. That one's specifically intended for adult female demographic. So that will be like romance.
I do like that genre a lot.
Yeah. What's so funny though is that like men are like, I like seeing people murdered and beat up, and women are like, I just like romance. I hate it.
I just want everyone to be happy.
Yeah. Another big one is shoujo, which will be like more of like the cutesy, fluffy romance anime. And that's for like younger female audience. And then shonen is like shonen, I think, is the biggest genre in anime and manga. That's going to be like My Hero Academia, Demon Slayer,
Dragon Ball Z,
Naruto, One Piece. Yeah. Like all of the big anime fall under this, and it's intended for like a younger male audience. So yeah.
Yeah. I like to think of those as like baby's first anime. You know, they watch that, they get a little introduction, and then they realize, oh my god, everything else that I can watch is so much better than this garbage.
Okay, good one. Dub versus sub is something you'll hear a lot. Dub is just it means that the anime is dubbed in your language or voiced, like the voice acting was done in whatever language you speak, right? So the dub is like usually that refers to English dubbing, so there's an English voice cast. And then sub would be subtitles. So you'll hear like people argue dubs versus subs. So like, do you like to listen to it in English or do you like to read subtitles? Personally, I'm a sub kind of person, but you know,
I cringe at dubs. They sound awful.
Yeah. Another one, waifu. That one's pretty straightforward. Kyle, do you want to do that one?
Yeah, it's the female anime character you want to wife up.
Yeah, it literally is just wife. Like just like set in like Japanese katakana. So it's just like you're like it's somebody you're a big fan of in an anime, basically. And then husbando is like your husband from this anime. That one's less used, but still good. Let's see. What else do we have here? Oh my god, I did not know that one. I'm not even going to talk about that.
You're getting deep. You're going down the rabbit hole.
So we got some genre ones. Isekai. So isekai literally. So sekai in Japanese means world. The e is like a different. So it literally means different world. In like literal translation, but isekai is like a subgenre of manga and anime where the character is either transported like ReZero into another world or reincarnated, like they died, got hit by a truck, got stabbed, whatever it is.
Tensei.
And they showed up in another world. Isekai is a most common in a high fantasy setting. Yeah, I think that one of the ones that people forget about a lot, which is interesting that it kind of falls under there, but is Sword Art Online is also an isekai. And even though they're not reincarnated or transported into another world, they're stuck in a video game world, so they're like stuck in a different world, basically. I think Sword Art Online is probably the most common, or like the biggest.
I was hoping you were gonna say Digimon.
Digimon is not an isekai.
They get teleported to the digital world.
Okay, but they don't stay there. Like they
do stay there for a while.
For a while, but like it's still set in like Tokyo.
No, it's set in the digital world. And then they go back to Tokyo.
Okay, for reals, if you want to see something that's like kind of really, really like for me, I thought it was funny. Is if you watch, because I watched Digimon in English when I was a kid because that's all I
Yeah,
had
who
access
didn't?
to. Right. Go back and watch the first episode of Digimon in Japanese. It's insane. It's
It's a
like
complete.
literally night and day difference, you guys. Like the English one is like bad stuff happened, you guys, and the Japanese one is like a bunch of people got murdered. The world is ending.
Yeah.
Like we're in big trouble, you guys. It's like really dark.
I don't know why she's talking to me like I didn't watch the Digimon like tree movies and the 25th anniversary of Digimon. Like
I need to watch the Digimon remake. I
I
love
wish
Digimon so much.
I wish Digimon was bigger than it ended up being.
I agree. It's because of Pokemon. I blame Pokemon.
Well, I mean, I like Pokemon way more, but I do.
I like Digimon more.
But I do wish Digimon got its fair shake. Did you watch? This is just a Digimon conversation now. Did you ever watch the Digimon season where the Digimon were in the real world and then they would like swipe the cards or whatever and become the Digimon?
No?
Oh
What the
man,
heck?
yeah, Digimon gets crazy. Like they go off the wall.
Ugh. Okay. Uh yeah, so isekai um is like a term that we've very frequently used because Kyle and I both watch a lot of isekais. There's too many isekais. Like we've now way
There's
far
so
gone
many.
until there's way too many isekais. But you'll hear us use that term a lot. Like I think last week when we were talking about a lot of the new anime, we were like, oh, it's just a dumb isekai. Like so we use that term very frequently. So it's important to know. Let's
And most of
see.
them are done.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Um I
You
don't
sure
think
aren't
we
clicking.
usually. Yeah, I like clicking. I don't think we do that one a lot. Or at least I personally do not participate in the arrow game space.
I don't know what that is.
Um, erotic games like eroge.
Oh, I thought you said arrow games,
No,
like air games.
no, you're crazy.
Well,
Uh,
that's why I was like, I don't know what that is, but I do know what that is.
Okay, I think we've covered. Can you think of anything else that's kabedon? That one's a really good one. That one's kind of niche, and you won't hear us use that one a lot, but it's one of my favorite terms because you'll be like, "Oh my god, like oh he kabedon." Like it's such a good term. It's so dumb, you guys. Okay, so it literally what it
Nailed
means is
down.
like it's when somebody like there's one character leaning against the wall and the other person will like slap the wall next to them or above their head and like lean in until the other person has nowhere to go. This is like a like flirting move in a lot of romance anime. And it's also used as like a comedy bit to like be like, oh, I'm trying to
It's
flirt with
all.
you, but it's
It's
fake
also
kind of
used
thing.
in. It's also used in Western media as like a flirting or comedy
It
thing too. So
is,
it's
it
it's
is.
like it's
It's
transcended.
transcended. So
And
yeah, so when
it's
you see somebody like lean against the wall or like slap their hand,
bam.
it's kabedon.
Either way, it's stupid.
Yeah. So funny. So funny. Mangaka. That's another one. So mangaka is the person that draws the manga or like the creator of the manga. Um, that one I use. I don't use that one like a lot, but I will use that one sometimes. A lot
Yeah.
of these are literally just Japanese words that I'm like, I would never just
Yeah.
like say a
No, they
Japanese word like this.
outside of Japan or outside of us talking about Japanese words when we're doing our Japanese lessons.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is like I will use Japanese terms, but for the most part, I think I stray more towards like the English version of the term. So, like, I don't like, for example, kawaii. Like, I don't just like use that term. I would just be like, oh, they're cute. Like,
Yeah.
like that's a. Oh, they have
It's
a
also
lot of
why
Japanese terms like majide.
it's also why we read all the anime names in English because
Yes.
it's more it's not relatable, but it's more like commonplace in the West to just use the English term.
Yeah. Now I've just made it to like a bunch of people just saying Japanese words.
Nice.
So I think we've made it because like I don't use like maji or majide or like koibito. Like I don't use these terms. So yeah, I'm 100% sure that we have forgotten something. So if we have, I apologize. If there's at any point that we say a term and you are like, ooh, you know what? I just thought of one. Let me finish my sentence and then I'll tell you. So if there's ever a term that we use and it's like, I didn't understand what you guys said. You can ask. You can either just give the timestamp or try and spell it out, and I'll try and figure it out. And let you know like what we were saying. Because I want you guys to all be part of the conversation. So if there's ever like terms and stuff that you need help with, I'll do my best to help. One thing I did think of, just because this is totally my fault, that this term would even be brought up, but fujoshi.
Nope. And nope, move on.
No, so fujoshi just means like it's like literally just means like rotten girl. It's people that are usually fans of like BL. Fudanshi is the dude because danshi is man, so like a rotten man basically. And it would be the same thing. So that term doesn't come up too often, but I did want to bring it up because I've been watching that Tadaima Okaeri, and the main character's last name is Fujayoshi. And I was like, they knew what they were doing here. They knew what they were doing. So
wordplay.
Let us know, you guys. Is there any other terms that you wanted to add?
No, I think we got them all.
Okay, next week we'll probably be doing our free run review, unless we're not filling up for it, and then we'll do something else. But
or maybe we'll finally watch Dangers of My Heart, and we can review that.
Maybe. Who knows? Who knows? I can make no promises at this point.
Look at her. She knows. She's just lying. She's sitting on a throne of lies.
I do my best. Anybody we need to add to the simplest this week, Kyle? Eve?
No.
I am very tempted to add Adam to my list.
I don't get it.
Oh my god, he's every time I see him, you don't understand. I have a visceral reaction. He's so attractive.
I walked up to him and I started slashing my sword, hoping to kill him, but it didn't do anything.
He is so handsome.
I just don't care about him at all.
He is so handsome and so kind. And even if he betrays us at the end, I don't care. He's still handsome.
Read the list.
Okay. Well, thank you guys so much for taking the time to hang out with us today. Special shout out to our current patrons. We have Alpaca Tom, Fabulous Breanna, Breanna's mom, Breanna's brother, Lindsay, Nikolai at Night, Cypher Primus, Brendan Myers, Marcus O'Neill, Lillian, Mimi J, David Hallwright, Dave Harp, the Xbox Expansion Pass, and Lee Navarro. Kyle, where can people find you?
Discord.
Yay! So yeah, if you need to hang out with us / want to hang out with us and ask questions, or party, or I don't know, something, come hang out on our Discord, and we would love to have you. And there's a whole anime channel to talk about anime. There's also a books channel that nobody uses besides basically me. But if you want to talk about books, I'm happy to talk about that too.
Quick, Bree, give them a random anime recommendation to end the week.
Your random anime recommendation for the week is to check out the first 3 episodes of Kaiju number 8. I think that it's 3 episodes have now aired, so you can watch the first 3 episodes and decide whether or not it will be a good fit for you. And if it is, then you can be part of the cultural movement that's happening right now, where everybody's watching it and talking about it every week.
Didn't know it was this big.
It is. There you go. Kyle, what's your random episode anime I meant to say?
Shakugan no Shana.
Any particular reason?
An oldie but a goodie.
That's all we're getting?
I mean, what do you want me to say? Have you ever seen it?
Why are you recommending it? Yeah, no, I'm just like trying to.
Oh, I just really like it. The main character is Tsundere. It's got some magical elements. It's just a fun time.
Okay, sounds good. We will see you guys in next week, 1 week, and we will most likely have beat Stellar Blade by that point.
Maybe.
I don't know how long this game is. I have no concept. It's a good time. Play Stellar Blade, you guys. That's really the takeaway from this anime podcast. Goodbye.